The Baltic is currently the most dangerous sea in the world, believes Polish Foreign Minister Radosław Sikorski. His statement comes on the heels of a suspicious incident which took place on Wednesday as a Russian Shadow Fleet ship was spotted maneuvering in the proximity of a power cable connecting Poland and Sweden. As the tensions grow in the north, wartime Ukraine seeks to secure its place at the next NATO summit, The Hague. To discuss it, we're joined by our very own Marcin Zaborowski, head of the Europe section at TVP World.
Hello, Marcin.
Good evening, Marcin. So, first of all, about the incident in the Baltic Sea, do we know anything more about it? Has any damage been done?
We know that no damage has been done, other than in communication and in the perception of security. But that suspicious Russian Shadow Fleet ship, just appeared, was engaged in suspicious activities, and the Polish Navy reacted quite swiftly. So it was chased off, basically, and returned to its harbor.
Right, so maybe no damage has been done because of the swift action of Polish Navy. But the question is whether Russians will attempt to do it more often, whether they will test, Polish and other states' reaction time.
Well, I think we live in a very uncertain time, but we can be certain that the Russians will continue to do that. Clearly now being in a condition in which the Baltic Sea is the area where they lost their superiority, they have only access to one harbor at this point in time, is deeply uncomfortable for them, where the Baltic Sea is almost like a NATO lake at this point in time after Sweden and Finland joined the alliance. Since the war started, war against the Ukraine, the incidents of the Baltic Sea have increased tenfold. And even us, ourselves, we reported that about a half a year ago, there was a suspicious Russian activity on the Baltic pipeline, which connects Poland with Norway. That report was denied by the Polish armed forces. But it's clear that this is a very dangerous part of the world at this point in time.
Now, only yesterday, the EU has announced new sanctions package against Russia, the 17th already. This time targeting its Shadow Fleet. Now, how painful is it for Russia, and if the US want to do the same? I mean, can Europe alone break the Russia's war machine?
Probably not. What Europe has done by reducing very substantially the imports of Russian gas and oil has been very painful for Russia, but they found the way out, and that's the way out they found thanks to the Shadow Fleet. Meaning basically the export of re-export of the commodities to China, India, Brazil, other parts of the world, which we call Global South, which very willingly buys now the Russian commodities, which are at discounted price. So they have a market, and they are feeling successful with the gap that the Europeans have left there, and that's why targeting the Shadow Fleet, which is, the means through which they actually are engaged in this trade, is so important and so essential. And that's why working together with the United States on that would be the most important element of that.
Let's talk about NATO now. Donald Trump opposes more sanctions to be imposed on Russia. Donald Trump opposes Ukraine joining NATO. Do you also think that Donald Trump opposes Volodymyr Zelensky's attendance at the next NATO summit, The Hague?
Well, my understanding also from your feature is that that is unclear, really, at this point in time. What we know is that these are rumors within the media community that the Americans are not committing and they are pushing against inviting President Zelensky and Russian delegation to The Hague.
But Ukrainian delegation.
The Ukrainian delegation to the Hague. But that's unconfirmed. And Marco Rubio said that he doesn't know where these rumors are coming from. But at the same time, it would be very easy just to say we are in favor and we would want to have Mr. Zelensky in The Hague. He didn't say that. So it suggests that something is going on there, indeed, which would be a huge coup for Russia, because the last NATO summit in Washington was so much dedicated to Ukraine, with President Zelensky being there, with Mr. Yarmak being on stage, with very strong decisions, with the communication which says that that Ukraine is on the irreversible path to NATO membership, and also material decisions, with the setting up of headquarters in Wiesbaden dedicated specifically to ease Ukraine's application to join NATO.
Right. Now, the issue of Ukraine joining NATO has also become a hot topic of the Polish presidential campaign. What do you make of Karol Nawrocki, the right-wing candidate's statement that he would never ratify Ukraine's access to NATO?
Well, that is just sad, to be honest, because in this country we used to have a consensus. When it comes to Ukraine, when it comes to relations with Russia, we used to have a consensus over basically supporting Ukraine because it's in our national interest to have a strong country between ourselves and Russia.
But the far right, which Karol Nawrocki wants to court, thinks otherwise.
Indeed, but let's just also remind ourselves that both the outgoing president Andrzej Duda and the other president from this camp, Lech Kaczynski, were very strong in favor of Ukraine joining NATO. So now Karol Nawrocki coming in and saying, I will sign a declaration, never Ukraine in NATO, is really basically playing in the Russian corner. And as such, it's sad, frankly.
Marcin Zaborowski, Europe editor at TVP World, was our guest tonight. Marcin, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching, and stay with us for much more news and features here on TVP World.